And I'm like, man, I should just shove this crayon.
There we go. We got the crayons.
Shove a crayon up
One step away. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside the Lines. We're switching up the format a little bit this week. Unfortunately, it was raining its butt off here in Baltimore, so we had to just make an impromptu decision to jump into our house, which, as you can probably tell, is very loud. But with me this week is Shannon Cosgrove. She is the owner of Ice Cream Pet Services here in Baltimore. And she's just an all-around great character. So Shannon, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem.
So first, big choice of the day is you have Magical Mermaids or City Escapes to choose from for your coloring desires.
I'm gonna do the City Escapes.
Okay, good choice, good choice. I kind of had that feeling with as much as you travel that you might go City Escapes, but I like to give the choice.
Pick any one of them?
Yeah, and you can start on any one you want.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when's the last time you actually sat down with the coloring book, you think?
Probably when I was a kid. Oh man, this is gonna be so hard because I'm gonna have to look at almost every single one of them. Yeah, it's been a long time. I couldn't tell you when.
Nice. So, what got you into dog? Is it just dog walking or is it dog sitting?
It's both. So I do predominantly dog walking.
Yeah.
And then we do pet sitting, like cat sitting. Watched a few birds. I've watered some plants. But for the most part, it's dog walking.
Nice. And you found like good success here in Baltimore doing that?
Yeah. So I quit my day job.
Yeah.
Started bartending a little bit, and then I'm gonna be a child, so I need to see all my options.
That's fine. Good to see.
I quit my day job and I started bartending, and then as I was bartending, people started asking me to pet sit their animals, like friends and patrons and stuff. And I always said I wanted a job where I just pet dogs all day and people pay me to do it. So I figured I should figure out how to do that.
And so before that, though, you were a mortician, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, how was that for you, if you don't mind my asking?
I mean, as you know, when Tony died, your cousin, I went to his funeral and I was just kind of dumbfounded by everything that was going on, like how they prepped his body and how just like they made him look. My mind is so curious. I started like looking into like, how does this happen? What is this, and this? Yeah. And then I remember the funeral director was actually a friend of my mom's.
Okay.
And he was very kind to me, and I found it interesting that a grown man who you see in movies, like all these men funeral directors are scary old men.
Yeah, right.
And he was like a middle-aged man, but he was very kind to me, and I really wasn't someone significant. I mean, I was close to your family, but I wasn't like a main core member of your family.
Yeah.
And I remember him coming over to me and like asking if I was okay and if I needed anything, and like, did I want to go see him with him so I wasn't by myself. And I don't know why it really stuck with me. The level of care that he gave to me, even as a child. And my mom actually sent me to that funeral home maybe like 2 years later with the same funeral director. She actually wanted to scare me out of being a funeral director.
Oh, really?
So she sent me to spend a day with him at the funeral home, and he showed me like the embalming room and all this stuff. And she thought this would straighten me out.
Yeah, like that was the thing that was gonna freak you out.
And I like ran home like, oh my God, I want to do this even more now.
So the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, so it definitely didn't work. Sorry, Mom.
So switching gears.
Okay.
I know you are a fan of the Postie, as the kids like
I knew
to
that
say.
was coming.
What got you into the Post Malone world?
Whew. It's crazy. It's funny you say Post Malone world because it literally is a world. I'm a 33-year-old woman.
Yes.
I have a thing for chubby, hairy men.
Okay.
So I saw Post Malone come into the world, and I was like, oh, what are you?
He was born into the world.
Yeah, just came into the world born at 20 years old. I'm like, man, I'm old compared to you. You could be my younger brother or weird teenage child that I had. But I was like, man, and he's just always smiling, and he looked real weird, and I was like, all right, I have a real soft spot for. I listen to a lot of music, but I do have a real soft spot for pop music, which I consider him to be a little more. I don't think he's particularly rap music like some people say.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little all over the place.
I was gonna say he teeters a lot of lines.
Yeah, I think he kind of blends a lot of stuff, which I also appreciate.
Yes.
But so I liked his music, and then I started getting into like watching his interviews and watching deep internet holes all about him, and I was like, damn,
rabbit hole.
This kid is pretty interesting and cool. He's very humble, and I would see like things of him interacting with like fans and stuff, and he is like the kindest human I've ever seen. And then I like started to go see his shows, and I was just like, man, this is like, I do not like Fish. I think Fish is, it's not my thing, sorry. I get
the jam band
it's like,
type.
yeah, but there are like people
are.
who follow them and like Dave Matthews Band and stuff. Like, not my thing, but like, I feel like I fell into a weird Post Malone version of that.
Yes.
So I've literally seen him in, I think, 6 different countries.
Wow.
I've seen him, by the end of this year, I'll have seen him about 18 times.
That's awesome.
But I have made all these friends. Like, I've literally seen him with friends I've made through like this weird fandom in different countries around the world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I have a friend who's actually getting ready to move to Baltimore who like needed to do an internship for school, like with marketing stuff, and I was like, oh, well, you can help me with my businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually met her through Post Malone fandom.
There
but
you
like
go.
she's become like one of my like really good friends, and like it's weird. It's weird. And then I've like interacted with some of like, I don't want to get too far into it, but like I interact with some of his like kind of staff and like family and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like I got to meet him a couple times because of things like that, and he is insanely nice.
Yeah.
He is like one of the nicest people in the world. I got very lucky and finagled my way, was let to go to his, he just did like this tiny little dive bar show in New York.
Yeah, the Bud Light thing.
Yeah, it was the Bud Light dive bar. It's like where bigger artists, like Lady Gaga did one, but like I've only ever seen him perform with like 20,000 other people.
Yeah.
But I got to see him in a room with like 150 people, and it was insane. Like,
It
I mean,
looked
literally
incredible.
like a foot from me the whole night. Like,
I
got to
saw
talk
that.
to him afterwards. Like, it was rad. Like, I watched the whole show like next to his mom. Like it was rad. Like, and then I got to go with like a friend who I've talked to for several months, but I had never met, who also like travels extensively to meet him. Like, I was like, hey, I got this ticket. We had kind of made like this promise if we figured out how to go, like we would take each other. So I like got to meet her after months of talking but never meeting her.
That's
so
amazing.
it's rad. Like I have this weird little family that I've acquired from it. It's really cool.
No, I mean that's a beautiful thing.
People like shut people down so quickly, especially like because of the way they look or because of like, I don't know, age difference or whatever. And like I used to definitely like, if you don't like I was again like very much into like punk music, and I was like, anyone who's like normal, whatever, like I don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah.
But then I like started to meet all, like I really took the time to start to like get to know people no matter who they are before I start to judge them. And I like have so many different friends and people that like I am nothing alike that have become such good friends in parts of my life. It's like people miss out on so many good people and opportunities because they write people off so fastly. And it's really depressing. It's so sad that people, like, I had such a magical time in Europe, and it was hands down because of the people that I met, that if I would have not been open-minded, I would not have had the experiences that they like decided to share with me and include me in. Like, it's crazy how much people just shut down people.
Yeah, I mean, that happens so much. I mean, because people just won't, like, even have conversations or things like that.
Right.
You know, and that's the big issue.
Yeah.
It's like what I found more recently is just like, you know, you can be that way, or you can just simply just ask, and you'd be surprised at how much people will just talk to you.
Yeah.
And like you can learn about people.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, yeah, like, and it's like you think people like just tend to think they're the only person that exists.
Yes.
And everyone has a story. Everyone is struggling, and I want to know like everyone's story. I don't care who you are. Like, there's a reason why you are at the point you are in your life because of why this happened, or someone did this to you, or you chose to do this or something. And I'm so intrigued by how people get there. I like kind of write a bit about it now. Like, I'll meet people and write about them. And it definitely started with like, I think my friend Leroy I had was like the big catalyst in that. Mm-hmm. Like, he definitely opened up my mind to not judging people by what they look like, how they act, things like that, because you will really genuinely miss out on so many things.
And with that, I appreciate you sharing so much about yourself today. Is there any last thoughts or anything you'd like to talk about or share?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Be nice to dogs. Dogs are greater than humans. If you can have a dog, they will change your life. Yeah.
I was gonna say, how can, if people want to find social media wise?
I'm really bad at technology. Horrible at it. About to have my friend work on that stuff for me when she gets here. But I have an Instagram that I occasionally will update. For ice cream, it's just icecreampetservices.com.
Yeah.
There's a Facebook too. I have a website that says coming soon. Said that for 3 years. Hopefully it will will get there. And then I have an Instagram that I cry on sometimes. Not actually cry. Like, I like to write, so sometimes I will write and post it on there, and then I take a lot of pictures of things I find interesting. I like to think I'm funny, or I find humor in weird things. So sometimes I'll post that and share it on my Instagram with all my pictures of traveling and stuff.
Nice. Yeah. Well, with that, I would like to present, since you are a longtime friend and a special guest,
and the curator of the pogs.
Yes, we're presenting you with 3 pogs today.
Oh man, thanks.
And you know that I have a huge collection that you are more than welcome to.
Snoopy.
Yes. And that, I was just like, that's just weird, and I don't feel like I've ever seen a pog with that, so I was like,
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. Cool. It's like something from a Tool video that never got released. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like. I don't know.
If that's actually what it is, that would be sick.
That would be dope. But,
hell yeah.
But again, thank you so much, Shannon.
No problem.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
fun.
was fun coloring.
Yeah, heck yeah. Sure.
All right, and we will see you next week.